Let's move to this now. Day zero is looming in Nelson Mandela Bay. Recent rains in the Eastern Cape may have given the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality some reprieve, but it doesn't look like this is enough to stave off day zero. Water challenges in the municipality have been ongoing for years, and the drought has also compounded matters. Now, the municipality is facing criticism for a lack of planning by some residents who say they are already using water sparingly. Let's speak to Joseph Tsatsire, who's the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro's Director of Water Distribution, to get a sense of what exactly is going on here. Thank you so much for your time. Did the rain provide some kind of relief?
Good evening to you and to your viewers at home. Not really, we received, some rainfall over the weekend. Unfortunately, it did not make any impact, on our dam levels. We have just a slight increase of just less than 0.5. Before the rains, our dams were actually sitting at 12.34%, and they've actually risen to 12.38%. And I think it means that, we are not out of the woods yet. It still remains a precarious position for us. And I think, depending which source you are looking at, we are looking at 30 days to 78 days since we can run dry in some of the 40% of the metro.
30 to 78 days. Some residents say that politicking is taking the municipality's attention away from service delivery, and this has been said over the years as we saw some instability in that particular area when it comes to the metro and the politics there. How much of an impact has this had on dealing with this issue adequately?
Over the past 7 years, there's been quite a number of interventions which we have put in place to mitigate the effects of drought. And obviously, I think from a governance point of view, we require, certain decisions that are made, at high level to assist us in that regard. But I can say to you that, even in those conditions, we have actually made, some wonderful investments in terms of creating a water resilience into the future. And some of those interventions going to come into play, around, August, September this year. And we hope it's going to go a long way in mitigating, drought going forward. I cannot, dispute the fact that obviously, governance does play a role in creating a stable environment for us to function well as, make significant investments, in the water business.
Water issues in Nelson Mandela Bay have been a long time coming. I remember in 2010, in fact, the metro being declared a drought disaster, and there was in the dry spell ended around 2012. We saw the first phase of the Nooit Gedacht scheme being implemented, and this was done to kind of try and prevent the municipality from finding itself here. Looking at the problems that have plagued this municipality over the years, would you say the municipality has the skills that are required to address this looming threat of day zero?
So as I've said, rightfully mentioned, we receive, droughts, over almost every 4 years. Since 2010, I think we have actually instituted, mechanism to actually diversify our water mix. And I think we have embarked, in trying to establish, groundwater. And we actually then started in investing in, those initiatives. In 2 years ago, we have actually started with one of the flagships of our water project that's giving us plus or minus 15 megaliters on a daily basis. And this was based on the technical skills that are available within the institution to be able to deliver, these programs. And obviously, drought is a natural phenomenon that has to obviously rely on surface water. And again, as I said, some of this groundwater is actually diversifying and actually, improving our water mix to ensure that we mitigate and insulate against, the impacts of drought.
There's also this issue of water leaks. This is not new. I remember in 2008, Parliament being told about the issue of water leaks, and it was in several municipalities. Fast forward, we're back again, water leaks, the municipality at the weekend telling an SABC reporter that you are tackling the issue of water leaks. The reason I ask about the skills is because if you look at even the amount of water that the municipality loses into these particular leaks, surely something should have been done by now. Because if it was going on for that long, it should have been resolved by now.
So I think, repairing of leaks is part of the maintenance regime of any water utility in the country. As part of what we do, we fix leaks because of aging infrastructure. There is a continuous work that is required for us to be able to actually fix leaks and do, plant maintenance as well as routine maintenance to our infrastructure. So it's therefore part of the maintenance regime of each and every, water utility to be fixing leaks. So I think as part of our intervention, as well as to us to reduce, the artificial loss of water through leaks, we have actually, augmented our capacity to deal with that. We have employed the services of external service provider to assist our internal teams to actually fast track, the fixing of leaks. On a day-to-day basis, we are doing quite a number of leaks, and on a weekly, our turnover is plus or minus 1,000 leaks that we are repairing on a weekly basis. As we repair some are also then actually reported. And again, we've got teams that are actually dealing with that on a day-to-day basis.
Are you also looking at the impact of global warming? Because we do also see that the extreme weather patterns are becoming extreme, and some experts are saying that even the drought issues that you are facing as a municipality are also going to be quite extreme. So are you doing anything in order to mitigate and plan for this eventuality? Because it is a reality now. It's no longer something that is going to happen in the future.
As I said, I think, we are actually investing quite a lot of resources in looking, what we call our water
mix.
What
do those resources look like?
We are diversifying. One of it is groundwater, obviously, and continuously we have got rechargeable aquifers that will actually then insulate us. Secondly, as well, we are looking into desalination, as an alternative, to actually mitigate on drought. We have entered into partnerships with private organizations as well as, public entities to actually sign off a take-off agreement that we're going to provide us, diesel water. We have planned 2 of them in the city. Combined, they're going to give us plus or minus 60 megaliters on a daily basis.
Right.
And we hope that this is going to give us enough resilience into the future for both economic as well as domestic consumption.
And how much of spatial planning is going into this as well? Because there is, of course, the account of, danger when it comes to some of the coastal areas. How much of your spatial planning is also taking this into account?
Obviously, as part of our infrastructure planning as well as water master planning, we have to take into account, the spatial framework of the city. And I think that is actually one of the of the plan that is embedded, in our planning. And all considerations, are given into, how the city is spatially transformed in order to create the necessary resilience, from a water use perspective.
All right, Mr. Tsatsire, let's leave it there for now. We'll catch up with you. As you say, in some areas it's 78 days, in others it's 30 when it comes to the looming threat of day 0. But we'll touch base with you and see how those plans that are being put in motion are going in order to try and really mitigate the impact on residents here. That's the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro's Director of Water Distribution, Joseph Tsatsire.